What's up, guys? It's Eventon here, and for all of you guys that were worried that I was going to start ignoring or never do high-sec content again, surely you were mistaken. That is one of the nice things about being in a wormhole corp. You'll have access to high, low, null, other wormholes, pretty much any given point. So I like the ability to have access to pretty much any security space in the game. So first things first, this is an alpha fit. I love doing alpha fit ships whenever a new event comes out because I prefer to start giving ships and really challenge myself with low-end skills as well as like low-end ships to do these sites. Anybody can just slap on a rattlesnake and run these sites very easily and post it up online. But for all of you new bros that have been playing for a month or two, being able to have a fit that you can lean on with low skills and still run the sites reliably, I think is really invaluable. And it's something I wish I had when I first started playing. I started getting a little tired seeing fits online that were, north of 1 billion ISK. That took me 3 months to get into, and weren't the right weapon types that I wanted and all that stuff. So this is the whole reason why I started to kind of making this series. But regardless, these sites, the EOM sites, so with these guys you actually want to do kinetic and thermal damage. Kinetic being the primary, thermal's like the secondary damage they take the most from. It's strange, lore-wise, the EOM ships are actually shield tanked. Even though they look Amarian, you would think they're armor tanked, but that is a bit different. On the left side, don't forget to also accept your rewards. I forgot to do it, I believe, on one of these run-throughs. So that second wave, I just kind of skipped ahead. I'm going to keep this video pretty short because, to be honest, the fit as well as the sites are pretty straightforward. So whenever you go into these sites, whether it's room 1 or room 2, I just immediately get rid of both of the towers. They're A, annoying, but also B, especially the disruptor tower, you want to be able to get rid of that. So you're able to warp away just in case something happens. You forget to leave on your shield boosting module, something happens and you have low health, you want to be able to get away at your own convenience. One small mistake that I did make compared to the fit, I try to keep everything low skill. Like everything I'm using is like T1 or meta module. I accidentally used faction drones on this, which is, they're pretty pricey, as well as, I wouldn't say like necessarily high skill, but they're pretty pricey. So I try to keep this as budget friendly as possible. For some of you new bros that have been playing the game and want to run these sites, I highly recommend the integrated drones. I'll put that, that's going to be part of the fit down below, but that's a very happy medium between T1 and faction drones. So they have an increased amount of damage, health, speed, as well as I believe tracking and stuff as well. So they pretty much they usually cost less than half the price of a faction drone, because these sites will focus your drones very aggressively. You can see down there in the bottom right, a lot of my drones have taken damage. So typically I'll shoot them out, recall them, shoot them out, recall them, because they are getting focused. So yeah, so this is the Battleship Room. So the last room after the second wave will spawn a battleship, and occasionally the battleship will be alone, and then other times I'll notice it'll also spawn a third wave. And what you want to do is put all of your damage on that battleship, because that thing will scram you. It'll do a lot of damage. I'm going to show a part here a little bit later that my shields actually go down to like 1/3 just because I was spreading damage and not focusing the battleship for whatever reason. And if you kill that can, all the other ships go away. So you're honestly better off just killing the battleship and killing the can as soon as possible. The other thing too is once you get into that second site, you'll see there that there was like a can floating in space. I'll show it here in a little bit, but what you want to do, in my opinion, is just start burning towards that, because I'm not entirely sure if it's based on how much damage you do to the battleship or how much damage you do to that that large structure that actually holds the loot, who actually has rights to the loot inside. Because I have heard people of suspect baiting people, like stealing the loot. I'm not sure if that's based on the can or as well as the battleship as well. I'd love to hear that down in the description below if you guys have an answer for that. All right, in this next part, I've shown it in normal motion, so the last half of the video is just going to be showing this. How important it is to focus down the battleship. I started splitting my damage and using different drones, which just isn't very smart. As you can see here, I'm really hugged up against that container or that structure that drops the loot. So that's the first thing I recommend, is once you clear those web towers as well as any other ships that are webbing you, is just to burn towards that container as fast as you can, because that's where the loot is going to be coming out of. You don't want people to steal it from you or anything like that, especially since we're using missiles and drones. There is such thing as flight time. Even though I kind of made the mistake here, I wouldn't say necessarily mistake, but I didn't have a lot of luck using the heavy drones, not only because they have higher skills and I want to try and keep things easy for you, but also they're just extremely slow. And a lot of the times when I try to recall them, occasionally a couple of the frigates would start webbing them and it would take them eternity to come back to me. Actually, I had better luck using the medium drones. They seem to get focused a little less often from the ships. That's maybe just that's just my observation. That could be true or not. That's just my observation. So the fit, at least like the drones that are going to be in the fit, are going to be a little bit different. There's going to be more heavy drones and multiple fleets of light drones, because it's very easy to lose your light drone. So I want to make sure that you guys have enough drones in order to kill some of the smaller guys, because the application with your missiles on the frigates are going to be really, really poor, just because that's just how rapid heavies are. As you can see here, I start applying damage to the battleship, but for some reason I put out my my drones on the destroyer. And at this point, I think this was my very first run. I didn't know that once you kill the battleship and like the canister, everything flies away. I don't know if I was trying to reduce DPS, but at this point, like 80% of the damage is all coming from the battleship. So you really need to put all of your damage on the battleship and just focus it down as much as possible. So I highly recommend towards the end of the second wave, if you leave one guy up, I suggest you reload your rapid heavies, because rapid heavies literally take 35 seconds to reload. And the last thing you want to do is just start taking a bunch of damage to the face as the battleship is coming in and you're just getting smacked the whole time, because the sooner you take down the battleship, the less damage you're going to take. It's kind of the phrase like the best defense is a good offense, right? Because this thing is designed to tank a lot of damage, but it's not designed to take, as you can see here, I think at a certain point it was like a destroyer, a battle cruiser, a cruiser, and a battleship all hitting me at the same time, and I'm like slowly whittling down all the other ships. I should have been focusing the battleship the entire time. So if you do have heavy drones, if you do have the skills for it, you could definitely use them at this part. This is the best time to use them, is when that battleship's closing in on you and you need to apply as much damage as possible. But if you don't, having integrated like medium drones is more than enough. So the integrated Vespas should be helpful. If you do need to overload your missile launcher a little bit in order to focus it down, you definitely can. As you can see, I'm already starting to lock up that container that's right in front of me, be right on top of it, so it's that much harder for someone to ninja loot it or take it away from you. And so at this point, this is actually before I knew that once you kill the container, everything flies away. So for some reason, I start killing that as well. I'm trying to stop the damage from coming through. So just be sure in that last wave, when the battleship shows up, make sure to have your missiles reloaded, have your drones recalled and like redeploy them, because I've noticed that if you have drones out in space while stuff is warping in and they're kind of quote unquote spawning, they do have the tendency to focus your drones first, because it seems like ships like to focus drones based on the size. So frigates like to focus like some of the light drones, some of the cruisers like to focus some of the medium drones. That's just what I've noticed. So, and the ogres just seem to always aggro everything because they're big and they're easier to get applied against and all that stuff. So as you can see here, after I kill this container, that last ship will go ahead and warp away. So again, I just wanted to keep everything very low skill. If you're able to upgrade anything on this fit, you should definitely do it. I wanted to kind of basically put a floor on the amount of skills and the type of ship you could use on running these sites for the most part. So again, my fits are not meant to be 100% cookie cutter. It entirely depends on your skills. So upgrade any ammo, drones, ships, modules, anything like that you can in order to make it easier for yourself. So this is just kind of a good baseline for you guys to look out for. So, and that's pretty much it, guys. I am doing a Procurer skin giveaway with this video 24 hours from when this video is going to be uploaded. So I just need your in-game name, and I'm just curious what kind of ships or what kind of techniques are you guys using to run these sites. I would love to get that down in the description below. So hope you guys take care and you fly safe.